What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. I want to talk about the technical analysis. Clearly, we're having a good day, and that's nice to see. Whenever we're having a good day like this, it is easier to deduce and see this for what it is, right? A double bottom potential W procedure that we've got going on. I mean, it looks a lot more realistic now than it has in the last month and a half, doesn't it? Very, very bullish candle, very girthy. We've got a nice 32% week so far, and it's the end of the week, guys. This is great. On the daily time frame, we had our Adam and Eve, our high heel pattern here that we identified over the past few weeks and we were counting on, right? This whole overall rounded bottom endeavor held up very well. And as soon as we broke through the threshold, we cut loose and we let the goose fly, man. I don't know. I don't know why I'm rhyming, but anyways, it looks good. It looks really good. I want to get into this, but I want to share with you guys a thought that I have first, okay? And I would like to apologize to my viewers. I would like to apologize to even the Onyx protocol themselves, because the reality is we don't really know everything that's going on behind the scenes. And to make assumptions, that makes an ass out of you and me, doesn't it? Right. We look at my profile here, and I've been talking about how whenever Onyx made the announcement, what am I apologizing about, right? That's probably what you're thinking. When OnyxCoin made the announcement that we were going to get Goliath mainnet released, they said Goliath mainnet public version. Goliath, and let me actually pull that up. I wanted to just be on my profile here, but I don't care, whatever. Or you know what, I bet we can find it if we go down far enough. I have been making more posts recently. Let's just see. Let's see. Where are we? Right here, maybe? Yes, okay. 327 Goliath mainnet public version goes live. I took that as a sign that maybe it's the beta version, it's not the full version coming out, and I think that that's a proper assumption, or maybe a justifiable assumption to make. Okay, it's not the full version. That's what I'm hearing here, right? It's not the entirety of Goliath. There's something else more to come. But my thought was I was replacing the word public with beta, and in my head. And I was like, that's kind of lame, but also it's kind of clever, right? Like if you don't have a complete product, like it is kind of clever because we are still getting the mainnet. It is still coming live to the public. And I'm just thinking, what, public version, institutional version, whatever. And then yesterday I connected these dots where I'm like, what's the opposite of public? Like what, I'm thinking in my head, what's the opposite of public? Private, right? And that got me running, man. That got me excited. And if you're listening to this right now, it's probably going to get you very excited too, okay? People, by the way, no, guys, I did not sell any OnyxCoin. No, I've traded some, and I've made that all public back in I think the last time that I traded OnyxCoin at all was literally in July of 2025. And actually, no, I did sell some here, but the last thing that I did majorly was a purchase that was up here, right? I haven't sold. The last time that I sold some was within this range here. But then I bought more, and then I bought more here. You know, it doesn't matter. My HODL stack, I have not touched. No, I have not sold any OnyxCoin. This is just a point. Okay, that's a point to make. That's all. Where are we at here? Shout out to Money Tings. Shout out to Money Tings. We love you, Money Tings. He's funny, man. I really do like him. Anyways, let's see. Where are we? What if I was wrong about my initial stance on the public version of Goliath? What if instead this was a hidden message to say that they're also working on a way to bring privacy on chain? Could Onyx be shifting towards privacy? And guys, think about it, right? It's been a while since I've done this, but we are absolutely going to pull up the big... Oh my God, I don't have the big screen anymore? What happened? Oh, okay, there it is. There it is. All right, I'm going to pull up the big screen. You guys... OnyxCoin is designed, the whole protocol, the whole purpose of it is to onboard institutional grade users and adoption for institutions to use. High throughput, low cost transactions for institutional usage. What happened in Q3 going into Q4 of 2025? we saw two coins and other coins. We saw Monero see new all-time highs. That's the Mac Daddy privacy coin. We saw Zcash and Dash, which have privacy features. And everybody got so jazzed up about the privacy narrative. Everybody was so jazzed up about it. Really, they weren't jazzed up about the privacy narrative. They could care less. They were just jazzed up about the prices moving up. That's very cool. But can you just leave that there, okay? I don't want you on camera. Go watch your show. I love you. I love you very much. My daughter made me a castle. It's really cool. I have to be careful. You know, she does. I don't want her on this. If she's older, she wants to show her face on anything, that's up for her. But I'm not going to do it, right? There are a lot of creeps out there. There's probably some creeps watching this now. Shout out to the creeps, I guess. The thought here that I got distracted on was that it makes total sense, right? Because what did we hear from the institutions? None of the public cared about the privacy narrative. None of you guys cared. If you think that you cared, you didn't care. You just cared about the price pumping. But the institutions cared. That much is true. That much we found. And it makes sense. If I was using a bank or I was using an institution and I found out that all my transaction history, which most of the time was very made public, I don't like that. If I had a preference, I wouldn't want my transaction history to be public. You guys don't need to see where I'm eating, what hotels I'm staying at, when I'm purchasing flight logs and stuff like this, like whatever it might be. You know, you don't need to know any of that information. And I think a lot of larger clientele, higher net worth individuals, for privacy reasons, even more so, you know, because there's businesses and livelihoods and maybe even other like their employees' personal information attached to all this stuff. So, and then let alone the government, you know, because they definitely like privacy for spending for various nefarious reasons as well. The main point I'm beating around the bush here is that I think OnyxCoin, being the protocol it is, designed specifically for institutional on-ramping, it makes all the sense in the world that they would create a privacy feature. Now, I'm not saying this is what's happening. This is all an assumption. This is all a theory. They might not have a privacy feature at all. Maybe the public version literally is the beta version, and that's what it was. We had it right the first time. But again, assuming one way or the other is wrong, and maybe we shouldn't have gotten so. And I wasn't really that discouraged with the public version announcement, but again, maybe I shouldn't have harped on it the way that I did. This could be a really interesting thing if OnyxCoin does in fact become private. And if we hear any kind of news like that, I mean, that's just going to be fuel to the fire. It doesn't have to happen, right? Between now, the 27th day of March, right here, the 27th day of March, right here, is whenever the public version comes out. The public version, is there going to be a private version? That's just, you know, that's the way that my mind works. Is there going to be a private version? Well, public version comes out, we get to sell the news event, and then what? At the low, at a point to find support, they're like, hey, Onyx is going to make a private version on the Goliath network suitable for any financial transactions that people want to be private, like whatever, however the announcement comes out. That, you guys, that would be huge. That the product doesn't even have to be complete. They could be working on it. Somebody asked, is it going to be private like Monero? I'm like, I don't know. They could copy other chains in the way that they would like to do privacy. They could create their own method of it. You know, there's nothing wrong with that either. But I'd be curious to see if that happens. We still don't know. Again, if you're hearing this and you're thinking, Onyx is going private, that's not what I'm saying, but it is what I'm theorizing. It is what I'm theorizing, openly. It's one of two, right? Anyways, just more stuff to rally behind, man. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Privacy is a big deal. Privacy is like one of the core concepts, I think, of crypto. Bitcoin's all about transparency, but privacy is also something that I think is a solid backbone in a lot of what like the crypto OGs believe. You know, not your keys, not your Bitcoin, unconfiscatable, infallible, counterfeitable currency. And privacy of spending is something that a lot of OG crypto people really value as well, for whatever reason. You can say that it's for nefarious reasons. The only people who want to hide their transaction history are criminals. But the people who just don't want anybody up their butts with their financial information would argue against that, right? There's plenty of innocent reasons, and there doesn't even have to be a reason. You're a human being. You're a sovereign individual. We all have different countries, but we're all autonomous individuals. What gives anybody the right to your information? If it's something you want to give, it should be something that you have the right for, and crypto allows for that, right? Like, if anybody says, what's the big deal of giving up your privacy, the same question can be said, what's the big deal about having it? If it's not a big deal, then let it be a big deal to me. If it's not a big deal at all, okay, cool, then it doesn't matter, right? You just said it's not a big deal. What's the big deal about privacy? Exactly. What's the big deal? Let me be private then if I want to be. Anyways, I'm a broken record. Let's move on. Let's move on. Double bottom, soft curve, rounded bottom. Beautiful, right? We look at this on the 3-day time frame. I could do it on the daily time frame. It might stand out a little bit more, but we've seen this before. If I can draw, we've seen it before. We've seen it before. We're seeing it now. This was fun. This was tremendous. I think we're going to have some fun. I think we'll be having some fun, lads. It'll be good. It'll be real good. 00616. The exciting line to break, the moment that we've been waiting for, was to get above here. Now that we're above here, what I want to see, what I think we all want to see, is immediate separation. Okay? We look at this on the 1 hour time frame, and already we have come back to find support here. Last hour, we got 44 minutes left in this hour, so that's we definitely can pull up. Last hour, we saw a bit of a bullish candle there. I would like it if we continued. I wouldn't like it if we came back below here. I suppose it's okay. We're still in this kind of like testing of the zone. I suppose it's okay if it does. I wouldn't say this is a failed endeavor if we do come down. We don't want to see lower lows though. And again, being that we are quote unquote breaking out right now, we want to see separation right now. We definitely want to see separation right now. So the further away, the faster that we do it, the better. The more consistent that our higher lows are just away from this zone overall, the better. Certainly, breaking out and back testing your breakout point for support and finding it is not a bad thing. Okay? Just remember where we were before this point, right? We're still up, even if we go back below this line. We're still in a bullish circumstance. Okay? 1 hour time frame here, the RSI is bullish. We haven't been oversold on the 1 hour time frame since the 5th. It's the 15th now. For the 1 hour, that's like months, right? On the 1 hour time frame at least. It's a very long time. We've been very consistently above the 50 and even getting stronger readings and more consistent readings in the overbought. So this is good stuff, you guys. It looks really good. Stochastics are bullish. You know, even here I would say they're bullish. The MACD is clearly bullish. We look at the 4 hour time frame. You got overbought. Now you're coming down. Maybe we consolidate. It's not uncommon. It's not uncommon at all to consolidate right above where your breakout point is and then maybe continue rallying like that. It's not uncommon at all. The MACD looks very bullish. The RSI is bullish as well. Nothing really else to add there. We could be at a point to find resistance, and we know that not just from the fact that we're overbought on a few of our indicators on a few different time frames, but also right here, we've found resistance here before. We've found support right in this area before as well. We can find resistance here. We can come back down. It's not ideal. I don't want to see us go below 006, but whatever. You know, as long as we're holding higher lows, I don't really have a problem with it. In the grand context, this pattern is much more significant than the Adam and Eve pattern here. And this Adam and Eve can still work even if we slightly go below this high here, okay? As long as we're not like dwelling there. Because again, we're still kind of in the process of this breakout move overall. Now, if we got up here and then we came back below, that would be worse, okay? Right now, I think we've got a little wiggle room because we're kind of testing the waters. But even with that, I'd rather just see us move up, right? I think I speak for all of us. Here's the thing that I'll leave you with, okay? Here's the last thing that I'll leave you with, and it should be rather exciting, okay? First and foremost, we're overbought in the RSI on the daily time frame that typically results in very good things, right? The last time we were overbought, we saw a 200% move in a 5-day period. The time before that we were overbought, we saw a 52% move in about the same amount of time. The time before that, we were overbought another 200% move in a 5-day period. The time before that we were overbought, well, we did a 20x in 2 weeks. OnyxCoin likes to go fast, okay? OnyxCoin is the Ricky Bobby of cryptocurrencies. If you guys don't know that reference, I can't help you. But he likes to go fast. Let's just leave it at that, okay? Stochastics look very bullish, and the MACD is about to cross above the zero while we're building bullish momentum. Oh, I'm so excited. It looks so good. And that's not even the exciting part. Look at that too. Like higher lows to this trajectory. It's great. Here's the exciting part, okay? I want you to think about all the investors that have been involved with OnyxCoin for over the past year. It's March here, March 2026. Here, this was January 26th, 2025. For over a year, this has been life. I don't know about you guys, but anybody who bought up here, I would say 90+% of them, they probably got washed out. If you're paying attention, there's other influencers even, and people on X.com who announced that they were selling OnyxCoin, that they were getting out, that they were tapping out all throughout these areas, okay? Wherever they sold, even if they sold up here. And not just influencers, but people, whoever they might be, wherever they might have sold. The thought that I have here is most people don't have the tenacity, most people don't have the faith, most people don't have the vision to not just hold, but to DCA throughout this whole time. What happens is they get bored, they get scared, they lose their conviction. So they sell out. And that's okay. That happens. There's been plenty of projects that I've sold out of that I lost my conviction with, and I make that public, right? I never lost my conviction with OnyxCoin because no matter what, they just seem to continue to build. And they turn the project into exactly what it always has been, but something a little bit different. I don't think it's a bad thing. The thing that a lot of people have a problem with is they can't name the developers. They can't name who's behind the scenes with OnyxCoin, right? And it's like, do you know who Satoshi Nakamoto was? Anybody who says, oh, I know who it was, you don't know who it is. Nobody knows who it is. It's probably not just one person anyways. But even if you're guessing, which is probably the best that anybody can do, even if you're guessing and you're right, it's still just a guess, right? And the whole point that I'm trying to say is anonymity is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You don't want CZ to be the one that's in charge of this, and then some kind of scandalous thing happens with CZ and he goes to jail and our whole momentum is killed because something happened with him. You don't want that, right? Let human beings live their lives. Let the cryptos live their lives, unattached, unaffiliated. There's a lot of people who think that you need a figurehead, and we have a figurehead, right? Chain, OnyxCoin. We have the company, the organizations of these that are figureheads, but no like direct person, right? There's no direct person. There's no direct person for Bitcoin. There's no direct person for Dogecoin. There's no direct person for Cardano, although Charles Hoskin, that can be debatable. There's no direct person for Bitcoin Cash or for Monero. These are some of the top cryptos, okay? Some of the top cryptos in the space that have been dominant since their birth, and they don't have figureheads, okay? We don't need a figurehead. I don't think it's necessary, and I actually think it's a strength, not a negative, okay? Anyways, I'm getting off the point. The really exciting thing is anybody who's wanted to sell, they've had ample opportunity at some of the lowest prices in OnyxCoin's last year and a quarter history to sell. There are no sellers left. I've been saying this for months. There are no sellers left. And when there's no sellers left, you have an easy time moving up. This isn't just a theory. We can prove it right now. We can prove it right now. This right here, from a low to a high, was a 262% pump. Whereas this pump here, from a low to a high, was a 216% pump. Look at the level of volume that happened both times. This volume, the move is very similar percentage-wise, like to a T, almost the exact same. But the volume is less than half of what we saw here, okay? Less than half. Now, we had an easy time moving up. We had an easier time moving down. Here, there's more volume. It was a little bit harder to move down, but still we moved down. The point isn't what lasted longer and what came down quicker. The point is it was easy to move the price because all the sellers are gone. They're all gone. When there's no sellers, when the order books are thin, it doesn't take as much money to pump this thing through the roof. We're in an environment now where we have potential announcement of privacy network coming to play with Goliath. We have the announcement itself of the public version, whatever that means, of Goliath mainnet on the 27th. And without any of the fundamentals at all, show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. We've clearly got accumulation going on with this nice soft rounded bottom, with this Adam and Eve double bottom here, with this Eve and Eve double bottom here, okay? And beyond all that, guys, we haven't even talked about the really long-term stuff. Where are we finding support? Where was this very long accumulative phase occurring? Where was the occurrence of this? Where was the low? It was right here at the prior highs. Talk about structure. That's phenomenal. You guys, that's spectacular. But wait, there's more. From a low, that wasn't the low, to a high. Come on now. Come on, you can do it. Right there, low to high. We bounced right off the golden ratio. Talk about structure. We've shown significance at these fibs all throughout as well. But wait, there's more. This chart isn't as pretty as it used to be when KuCoin had it, but whatever. It's okay. We can still make do with this. It's not a big deal. It just won't be in log. It'll say it's in log, but it's really linear. Okay. We look at this on a weekly time frame. This is XCN versus BTC. Again, it says it's in log, but it's not, right? It's literally the exact same either way. Where did we find support, guys? Where did we find support? We found support right at prior resistance as well. Again, bullish. We have, on a weekly MACD perspective, immense bullish divergence, and we are now building bullish momentum coming up to cross the zero. You guys, we have so many good things going for us right now. The stochastics look bullish versus Bitcoin. The RSI looks bullish versus Bitcoin. The MACD is taking on a bullish form versus Bitcoin on a weekly time frame beyond just the structure of the price action itself. We look here on the MACD, and this here, this bullish divergence that played out, and then we died off. We didn't get that much of a reaction. It's disappointing. We're building bullish momentum now. That's really good. This is bullish, guys. It's very bullish. It's like here, when we're dying off, that's a good thing, but then we start to build bearish momentum again. That's very bearish. It's the same thing here, but to the opposite effect. This is what pushes you higher. There are positive signals going on all throughout the technicals right now. I think the coming days, I think the coming weeks are going to be very exciting. And when Goliath releases, whenever we do have the 27th announcement, I'm not selling. I don't plan on selling. I'll let you know if I do. If we're up at like 20 cents, you know, I might take a little bit off the table. If we're up at even like 10 cents or like some kind of significant fib, maybe I'll take some off the table. But if we're just here, we're at 2 cents. I'm not going to take anything off the table. If I do, I'll let you guys know. That's subject to change. You know, I never know how my feelings are going to be in the moment. But I would definitely plan on buying back down here, or just at least waiting to DCA back at prior areas of resistance to buy, right? For the long term, for the overall haul to the upside. One last thing, because again, this is something else to think about with OnyxCoin. Think about anybody who's been holding altcoins since the beginning of the last bull market. Okay, the beginning of the last bull market, for those of you that don't know, it was effectively, I think, like for altcoins, it was like October of 2023, but it was, you know, sometime in early 2023. Since the bear market lows, OnyxCoin has actually held up higher lows versus Bitcoin. That sets it apart from like 99% of cryptos out there right now. Ever since Bitcoin broke out of its bull market structure and we've been coming down, the average altcoin from this same time frame has lower lows, not higher lows. And it doesn't seem that significant. It doesn't seem that significant at all. We take this low point here, we put it at the current price. That is a 433% increase that we've been holding even through these low points. Something special. We have something special. And I'm hoping that this video ages well. Hit that like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.